You might have to design a logo. So I'm going to create a box first. Okay, and to be able to make this box a little bit curved, yeah, I'm going to show you. So I'm going to click my magnifying glass here. I'm going to just zoom into this box to show you what I'm talking about. So to make the corners of the box a bit more rounded, I'm going to come here, make sure my box is clicked, but I'm going to come here to this tool right here, click on it. You see, it starts to show me this box here, but also these as well, these nodes. If I click and hold this bottom node and start to drag it down, you will see that my corners will then disappear and I'll have rounded edges instead. And that's what I want. So to go back to see my canvas, I'm going to come up here again, remember, and click zoom to fit, and I can see everything again. So I'm trying to create a design. So I've created the first part of it. To create the next part, I'm going to click on it. Then I'm going to come up here where it says edit, click on edit. I'm going to duplicate that, what I've just done. If you press duplicate, it's already done, but it's on top of the one you've done. So to get it off, you just go and click on it, hold, and move it to the side, as you can see. If I want to create two more, I can just select both of them and go back to edit, go down to duplicate. It's done it, but they are underneath. But to move them, I'm going to have to click again and drag them to the side. There you go. Now I've got 4. Again, I can make this bigger so that I can see what I'm doing. Come to the magnifying glass tool, click on one side and hold. Just select what I need, let go. It will show me what I'm working with. Again, I come to my arrow, which is up here, click my arrow, and then I can start to move these around. Click that one, move it up to there. Click this one, put it up to there, and then this one up to there. If I want to see that they're in line, I can go up there to the ruler, click and hold, drag. It will bring a line down, which I can use to make sure that both these shapes are on the same line. So if I grab this shape now, because it's not in line, bring there. To snap it, as you can see, there's a little X that gets formed right here in the corner. I'll show you again. There it is. It shows me it's snapped right onto the line. Do the same with this one, snap down onto the line. I bring my ruler by clicking on it, holding and dragging it down, doing the same for these two. So I'm going to put this one there. I'm going to hold on to the shape, drag it down until it snaps onto the line, drag this one too until it snaps onto the line. There you go. That's going to be my design. I can now click on the line, it turns red, and then I can press delete to remove it. Now to be able to see everything again, to see what I'm doing, I come back up here, click, and there it is. There's my design. Once I've done that, to make sure they're evenly spaced, the gap between them is the same, I'm going to select all 4 of them, and then I'm going to come up here to where it says object, click on that, and come down to where it says align and distribute at the bottom here. So I'm going to click on that, and on this side straight away, as you can see, it changes, gives me aligning options. I'm going to come to the where it says distribute because I want the space between them to be even, to be the same. So I'm going to choose one of these. I'm going to come to this one here, the second one, and if I click on it, it would then change the gap between them. There wasn't much because I had already aligned them quite well, so it didn't do a lot. But if I show you as an example, if I bring this out there, bring this to about there, and leave this to, if I then click all 4 of them, come down here and click on that button again, as you can see, it moves some of them so that there is an even gap between them. So I'm just going to press undo because I wanted to go back to where I'd aligned them the way I wanted to. That's about there. Okay. To add a bit more to my design, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on one of them and I want to change the outline color of this one particular one. So to do that, I'm going to click on it and then I'm going to go to object, go again to fill and stroke, which is the third one down. Click on that, and straight away, as you can see, it changes this side. There's 3 options there. There's fill, stroke, and stroke style. I want the stroke to change, so I'm going to make sure stroke is clicked. And I'm going to come down here to my wheel. I can move my wheel around however I want to. But I'm going to choose that way it was before. That looks like a nice color. I'm going to choose that. So as you can see, it's already changed this one shape. My design is starting to look good. So to make it a bit smaller, I'm going to select all 4 of them, click my control tool, find an arrow, and just bring it all up to about that size. There you go. There's my design. Okay. And if I want to put a company name next to that, I'm going to go back to my, if you come on this side again, to my text tool, which is this A. Click on the A, come around here. I'm going to call this company Robust Solutions. So I'm going to click R O, all caps, Robust. Then I'm going to have the word solutions on its own line. So I'm going to click the text tool again, click inside, get another cursor, and I'm going to write the word solutions, which is not right. There we go. And I'm going to go back to my arrow, and there we go. So the reason why I've done that is because I want to be able to edit this on its own and be able to edit this one on its own. So there we go. There's robust and there's solutions. Now my robust, I want it to be a little bit bigger than the word solutions. So I'm going to click on that. Remember, you click your control tool, find an arrow, and then just move it about there. Okay, brilliant. That should do. To add more to my design, I can decide to put a line underneath this robust lettering right there. So to do that, I come to my box right there on the side, click on that. So I'm going to do it on the side for a bit, up to about there. And then once I've finished, I can just then take it and move it and position it where I need it. Zoom in to the area you're working in. So by clicking the magnifying glass, I can just select that area, zoom into it, then it shows me everything that I'm working on. I can then go back to this arrow tool and I can move this wherever I need it to move to. Yeah. Okay. Again, it's still trying to control what I do, but that's okay because my robust needs to come down anyway. And I can make it a little bit smaller because it's still too long. Kept about there, and make sure this is moved up to about there. Okay, brilliant. If I wanted to have two different colors on the font, I can do this. I can just double click on it, create a duplicate of that. So I'm going to go there, go up to my edit, go down to my duplicate. There it is. Now remember, when you duplicate something, it goes on top of whatever you just duplicated. So it's now underneath. So I'm going to just grab it, move it to the top. And because I want this RO only, so I'm going to double click here, get the cursor to the end of my letters, and just start to delete what I don't need. Same goes for here. Because I don't need this RO now, I'm going to click inside this one and I'm going to take off the RO. I'm going to just move it back to where it was and then get this one down there and make sure that the spacing between them is the same size. Okay. From there, I can actually grab this, even change the font, the size on it. Remember to change the size and keep it all intact. Press your control key, press an arrow, and just move it. You can do that like so. And then to even change the font color, I can come down here, click the little arrow, because what I want is a little dropper, this little dropper thing, to be able to help me change this RO into the same color as this line here. So if I click into that line, as you can see, this just changes that on there as well. Brilliant, fantastic. I want to come there. There is my sign. So if I go back to see my whole canvas, I'm going to come up here, click this, and it shows me everything in my canvas. Look, our company logo has just come out very, very nicely. Now I can move this a little bit more in line with the address, and then I'm going to take my ruler. Remember, you can come up here, click and hold, drag the line, just shows you, take it to the end of where the address is, and then now you just need to move all of that. So I select all of that, move it all the way to the line. Remember, it snaps. It shows you with a little X on there, a little red X. It shows you it's snapped on there. Then I can click the line and delete it. There you go. So now this is nicely in line with the address. It looks much neater. To finish off the design, you can actually do different things. I can decide to just change the background. I can put, say, a green. There you go. But it doesn't look very nice. I can put maybe this one here. Again, it's just too plain, doesn't look nice at all. So I'm going to go to undo, and I'm going to do something a bit more funky. So what you do is you click on the brusher tool. If you click inside and let go, and then just drag it, the line just follows you. You click on another point again and hold. As you can see, I can then do different things. I hold and move this around, it starts to create curves. Right? So that's what I would like to do, and the line stays even if I let go of the keyboard and mouse. It's still, the line is still there, it's still holding onto. I can come over this side and I can create another point. Yeah. Now from here, then I can come down here to the corner, click another point, all the way. The line is still with me, all the way to the other corner. Click a line, all the way up to here, and click again. Now to be able to finish it off, I'm going to come back to there and click, and there you go. There is my sort of shape that I have now. And whilst my shape is still selected, come to the top here and click this second button over here. If I click it, it shows me the different nodes that are attached to my shape. So I'm going to delete some nodes. I'm going to click on it, it turns red, as you can see, and I just place the delete button and then it goes away. So that makes my shape a little bit more curvier. The more nodes there are, the more edges you have. I can fill it with color. Before I add the color, click on my font and change it to say white for now. Okay, my font disappears because now it's against the white background. But if I click my sign again and then change that to black, you still won't see your font because remember, this shape is on top of the font. I'm going to go up to where it says object, click on that, and I'm going to go all the way down to where it says lower to the bottom, and my shape goes to the bottom of the page. There you go. Now you can see the writing that was hidden behind. That's fantastic. So our card is starting to take shape. I can even put the website on this side. Again, go to your text tool, put it over there. There's my cursor. I'm going to put www.robust.com. Okay, I'm just going to change the font on this www. There you go. And once I've done that, because I know it's black and it's going to go on to black here, I'm going to change that to white straight away, and then I'm going to just move it. Oops, I've lost it. Select it again, and I'm going to move it down there. There you go. So my website can come down there. To make sure that my website is in line with my address, I'm going to come up here to the ruler again, click and hold, drag the ruler line down to there, and when I look at it and just make sure is it in line, it looks all right to me. I can just bring it down, bring the website down a bit until it snaps onto the line, and then I know it's all in line. I can click this box, maybe make it a little bit smaller, up to about there, should be fine. This lettering down there, we can change it to the same color as we have over here. And to do that again, once we click on it, come down to the little arrow down here, click on that, get the dropper, which is right there, and then just go to where the color is and click on it. Straight away, you see the color on there changes. So that's one thing we can do. We can also change the color of this text right here, and to do that we click on it to select it, and if we also want to select this part here, we click the shift key and press on it. There you go, we've now selected both sets of text. We'll come down here again to our little arrow on the corner here, click on it, and it will give us these options. Go to the dropper. Once you click the dropper, again come up here to where the color is and click on it. There you go, straight away it changes the color over here. Our business card is starting to take shape. We can add one more feature to this, which is a nice swish above this curve right here. Come back here down here to your Brazier curve tool, click on it. Once you've selected it, click just inside but above the curve, and then come down here to the middle of the page, but this time click and hold. So I click and hold, and as I click and hold, I start to drag. Look what starts to happen there. It starts to create a curve. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shape the curve to look similar to the one below it, because you can see I can play around with these until I've got what I need. So I can bring them in, makes it a little bit straight, or I can take them out, makes it even more curved. So I just play around with it until it looks pretty much similar. Once I've done that, I let go. My line is still with me, and I come to almost the end of the card on this side, click and hold, and then again I can play around with these lines until I've got the curve that I want. And then to finish off our swish, we come back to the first node, click on it again, that brings back our line, go back to the middle of the page, click and hold, and then start to just play around with those lines again. There you go, it just starts to create another curve. Let it go again. This time I'm going to come to the end one, and I'm going to click and hold again, and then again start to play with those lines. As you can see, it creates another curve to finish that one off. There you go. There's our swish. And when I let go, it becomes one complete swish, as you can see over here. To give it that color, I'm going to go here to my arrow again, click on my arrow, go to my dropper, get my dropper, and I'm going to just find the color and click on it. There you go. But I don't want this black outline. So what I do is I come to the stroke part here. I'm going to make sure that the stroke is not clicked. So I'm going to press X, and that takes away the stroke. As you can see, that takes away the border. This back looks a little bit too white for me. So what I'm going to do is that box I did at the very beginning, this one here, I'm actually going to put some color on that, but I'm going to put a little more of like a gray. I'm going to select the outline, which selects the box. I'm going to come down here and choose a gray. I come up here to my object, come all the way down to lower to the bottom. If I click on that, as you can see, it then brings this black back up again to the front. I would get rid of this black outline unless you want it to be in there. So I'm going to click on that. It brings this again where my fill and my stroke, fill being the gray and stroke being the outline. So I'm going to press X to take off that stroke. There you go. So now I don't have a border outside my box. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to choose gradient. I'm going to choose gradient. Once I've chosen gradient, I make sure that my box is selected. If your box is not selected, it will not put the gradient on. Make sure whatever you're trying to put a gradient on is selected. Once I've done that, I come to the top of the page. I'm going to click and hold, and then I'm just going to drag. Yeah, as you can see, it starts to put a gradient on that. So now it's a bit dark on the top and a little bit light in the middle, as you can see right there. There you go. So I'll let go. My gradient has been put in, and then I'm just going to click the arrow again so I can see what I've done. And there you go. There's our business card. Yeah, looking really good. So to save it and send it for printing, I'm going to come up here and press File, go down and press Export as PNG. Again, please make sure you know what format your printer requires. I'm going to click Export as PNG, and then it's going to bring me options on this side. It says where do you want to save it. I can say Save As, and I can choose where it wants to go. I'm going to choose Desktop, and then I'm just going to choose, say, Business Card Test, and then save it. There you go. So it's once I've done that, again, don't forget to press Export. If you don't press Export, it will not do it. Once we've pressed Export, we can come to our desktop, and there is our card right there. If I click on it, there you go. Our card is done. Now it's ready to send to the printers. I hope you have enjoyed watching this episode on Inkscape. The next episode we'll be looking at GIMP, as I promised. So that you don't miss on the next episode and more to come, please press this red button right here to subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.